Good morning, students. In the previous lecture of the thermodynamics, we discussed about the first law of the thermodynamics, right? And what was the first law of thermodynamics? That was, okay, black pen, that was delta U is equal to Q plus W. That was what we concluded in the last lecture. Okay, this is the general case. For adiabatic process, delta U is equal to WAD when Q is equal to 0 for adiabatic process, right? Adiabatic process. After that, we derived that delta U is equal to Q when work done was 0, right? And we added these two cases, case 1 and case 2, and from that we prepared our general case number 3, right? Okay, now what was the difference between isolated system and adiabatic system? Isolated system and adiabatic system, what was the difference? Here Q is equal to 0, whereas in adiabatic process Q is also equal to 0. In isolated system we cannot do any type of work, that's why work was also 0, whereas in adiabatic process work can be done, so work is not equal to 0. If these both are 0, that's why delta U was 0 over here, whereas in this delta U was equal to work adiabatic, right? So that was the difference between isolated system and adiabatic system. In this lecture we are going to derive some of the more formulas, but before we derive that formulas, government board, you know that Gujarat board has deducted the syllabus, and this time from the chapter number 6 they have deducted the 6.2.1 work has been deducted from your syllabus. Okay, that's why from this topic we are only going to remember the formulas. From this we are only going to remember formulas. Okay, so here they have given us the formula. Okay, what was the formula? So first formula is W is equal to minus P external, P external into delta V, V for the volume. Okay, work is equal to minus P external into delta V. Now tell me, if we put work into the formula of delta U, what will we get? We will get that delta U will be equal to Q minus W, and W is equal to P external into delta V. Okay, how this formula has been derived, that topic has been deducted from your syllabus. So we are not going to discuss this. That's why two new formulas arised, and these formulas we have to remember for the numericals. Okay, you can see that over here delta U is equal to Q minus P external into delta V. Okay, now what if, listen carefully, what if we have constant volume? What if we have constant volume? Okay, constant volume means change in volume will be 0. If volume is constant, change in volume will be 0. That's why delta V will be equal to 0. So if delta V is equal to 0, constant volume, put it over here. So delta U will be equal to Q, and because volume is constant, QV. It is just a symbol, okay? Why? If delta V is 0, V into P external will be 0, because work will be 0. If delta V is equal to 0, work will be 0. Okay, how can we say that? Remember the last lecture? In the last lecture, look at this. Without expenditure of the work, that means volume has kept constant. Volume is kept constant. Okay. So if volume is constant, it will be delta U is equal to QV. Okay. And if heat is 0, if temperature is constant, if exchange of heat is 0, W will be delta U will be equal to W adiabatic. Okay, so that you can see that this is QV. We have already discussed it. Okay, now this process is irreversible process. Irreversible means initial stage and final stage only. This is irreversible process, initial stage and final stage only. Now new formula, second formula. Okay, what is the second formula? Look at this. For the reversible process, okay, for the reversible process, W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT. N is the number of mole, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature, into log final volume Vf upon initial volume Vi. Remember this formula, okay? So we have two different formulas for the work. For irreversible, W is equal to minus P external delta V, and for reversible, this is for reversible process. Okay, that will be confusion for you guys, what is reversible and what is irreversible, but they have told us we do not have to study that portion. Okay, so that was the second formula. After that, for the isothermal and free expansion of the ideal gas, isothermal process and the free expansion. Okay, for the isothermal process, isothermal means temperature is constant. Isothermal means temperature is constant, and if temperature is constant and we are talking about vacuum, that means W will be 0. If W is 0, because external pressure was 0 because of the volume vacuum, Joule determined experimentally that there will be no change in the heat also. That's why your delta U will be also 0. Okay, that was for isothermal and free expansion. Isothermal means Q equal to 0, and free expansion, that means your external pressure was also 0, and that's why your work was 0, and if both of them are 0, delta U was also because of that 0. Okay. Now we are talking about isothermal irreversible process. Okay, first of all, isothermal means delta U is equal to 0. Isothermal means delta U is equal to 0. That means Q will be equal to minus W. Okay, Q will be equal to minus W. Okay, so for irreversible process, Q will be equal to P external Vf minus Vi. For reversible process, Q will be equal to nRT ln Vf upon Vi, or you can say 2.303 nRT log Vf upon S. Listen carefully, this is the formula for heat, not work, because we are talking about isothermal process. Okay, what is isothermal process? Isothermal process means temperature is constant. Then isobaric process means pressure is constant, and isochoric means volume is constant. Okay. For adiabatic process, we know that W is equal to work adiabatic. Okay. W is equal to work adiabatic. Q will be 0. So that was the isothermal process. So what we have learned from this topic, for isothermal process delta U is equal to 0. For isothermal process have delta U is equal to 0. Okay, now let's solve the problems. Okay. Before we start solving the problem, I am going to organize all the formulas for you guys. So every single thing will be easy for you. Okay. First formula was delta U is equal to work adiabatic because heat was 0. After that, delta U was equal to Q because work was 0. And in the general case, delta U is equal to Q plus W, first law of the thermodynamics. Okay. After that, a new formula in this lecture we will learn that W is equal to minus P external into delta V. After that, from that, put down this formula into the first law of the thermodynamics. We will get delta U is equal to minus Q minus P external delta V. From that, if volume is constant, W will be 0 because V will be 0, delta V will be 0. Because of that, P external delta V vol will be 0. That's why delta U is equal to QV. That was already deducted. Okay, these formulas are for irreversible process. If we are talking about reversible process, W will be equal to minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. For isothermal process, W delta U is equal to 0, and if delta U is equal to 0, Q will be equal to, for reversible, P external delta V, not negative sign, and for reversible 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi, not negative sign. Q, we are talking about the Q. Okay. Now our first problem. Okay. So I am going to just expand this so that formulas will be there and there will be no difficulties for you guys to understand it. Okay. Let's do this. 2 liters of ideal gas at a constant pressure of 10 atm expands isothermally at 25 degrees Celsius into the vacuum until its total volume is 10 liter. Okay. So question number 6.2. Let's look out for the information. Okay. 2 liters of ideal gas, that will be our initial volume, Vi, initial volume. Vi is equal to 2 liters. Okay. Its total volume becomes 10 liters. That means it's our final volume. So Vf is equal to 10 liters. Okay, what they have asked for us. How much heat is absorbed and how much work is done in the expansion. Okay. Now we are going to look out for the words which can tell us other informations also. Okay, first word is isothermally. Isothermally means delta U is equal to 0. Isothermal means delta U is equal to 0. Okay, in a vacuum, if we are talking about isothermal process, expansion and the volume, then we know that Q will be also 0. Why Q is equal to 0? Because P external is also 0. In the vacuum, there is no external pressure. So P external will be also 0. Look at this. They have already told us that for isothermal process, expansion of an ideal gas into vacuum, W is equal to 0 because P external is 0 and Q will be also 0. That's why delta U will be 0. So what I have written is that only. So answer is already has been given. What was the question? Question was how much heat is absorbed and how much work is done in the expansion. Both will be 0. No heat is absorbed and no work is done. As I told you, if P external is 0, okay, W will be also 0 because isothermal vacuum expansion was there. Everything will be 0. Okay. Now, question number 6.3. Consider the same expansion, okay, same problem, but this time against a constant external pressure of 1 atmosphere. Now there is no vacuum. P external has been given. Okay, P external is equal to 1 atm. Okay, 1 atmospheric pressure. Now, external pressure is 1 atm and what they have asked, expansion, isothermal, and for isothermal we know that delta U is equal to 0. That's why Q will be equal to minus W. And what is W? W is equal to minus P external into delta V. Minus minus will be cancelled out. That's why P external into delta V. Okay. Now put down the values. Simply Q will be equal to external pressure is 1. Now delta V, that means Vf minus Vi, final minus initial, right? So 1 into Vf was 10 liter and Vi was 2 liter. So Q will be equal to 8, okay, liter into atmosphere. So liter into atmosphere will be the unit. Okay, look at this, 8 liter into atmosphere. You have the answer. Now problem number 6.4. Consider the expansion given in the problem 6.2. For 1 mole of ideal gas reversibly Now reversible formula will be applied because this time was irreversible. Now we are going to talk about irreversible. So 6.4 problem. Okay. Now what is the isothermal process? That's why delta U will be equal to 0. So if W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT, I have to expand the board, into log Vf upon Vi. Okay, this is W, but delta U is equal to 0. That's why Q will be equal to minus W, and minus minus will be plus. That's why Q will be equal to 2.303 nRT into log Vf upon Vi. Okay. Now put down the values. 1 mole of ideal gas, R is equal to 0.826. Remember the value. And temperature is 298 Kelvin, 25 degrees Celsius. They have given us already. Okay. So Q will be equal to 2.303 into N equal to 1, because 1 mole. Okay. R equal to 0.82 only. Okay. T is equal to 298. So into 298. Okay. Again I have to expand this into log Vf upon Vi. So log, okay, Vf upon Vi. Vf is 10 and Vi is 2. So if you cut it down, you will get 5. Okay. Now Q is equal to, let's calculate this in the calculator. Okay. 2.303 into 1 into 0.82 into 298. So it gives us 562.76 into log 5, and the value of log 5 is 0.699. So Q will be equal to 562.76 into 0.699. So into 0.699, that gave us Q will be equal to 393.36 liter into atmosphere. Okay, look at the answer. Got it? So this way you can use your formulas that we have derived in this lecture. Okay guys, all the formulas can be used. Okay, that was the reversible sum. Now let's talk about our next topic, enthalpy. A new symbol arises. Okay, enthalpy is nothing but the heat at a constant pressure. Okay, look at this. We know that the heat absorbed at a constant volume is equal to delta U is equal to QV. We have already derived that formula, right? At here, at constant volume. But what if we kept pressure constant? But most of the chemical reaction are carried out not at constant volume, but in the flask or test tube under constant atmospheric pressure. If you think about a practical scenario, volume cannot be kept constant, but we can kept constant as a pressure. That's why pressure will be constant. So, what was our formula? We are going to derive a formula over here. Okay, first rule of the thermodynamics. Delta U is equal to Q plus W, right? Now W is equal to minus P delta V. So delta U is equal to Q minus P into delta V. Okay. We have constant pressure. That's why it is known as a QP. Because of the constant pressure, it is known as a QP. Okay. Is that clear? Now, let's talk about what is QP. They have simply given a symbol to QP, and that is called enthalpy. QP is equal to enthalpy. So it is delta U is equal to delta H minus P delta V. Why? Because heat at a constant pressure is known as a enthalpy. What is the definition of enthalpy? Heat at a constant pressure. Heat at a constant pressure is known as a enthalpy. Okay. So we got a formula delta H this term will be on the another side, that's why it will become positive delta U plus P delta V, and P was constant. Okay, look at this. We may write our equation as a delta U is equal to QP minus P delta V at a constant pressure, where QP is heat absorbed by system and minus P delta V represents the expansion work done by the system. Now, delta U is equal to U2 minus U1 and delta V is V2 minus V1. So, QP will be equal to U2 plus P delta V2, P delta V2 minus U1 plus P. That's why we came with the term H equal to U plus P delta V. And instead of that, we simply derived this formula by easy going. They have done it with a difficulty, and their method is also difficult. Although Q is path dependent function, delta H is a state function because it depends on U, P and V, which all are state functions. Remember that heat is path function whereas enthalpy is state function. That's why heat at a constant pressure is also independent of path. So it is state function. So we got a formula at a constant pressure. We can write equation as a this one, but as we know P is constant. That's why they arrived this formula, and we did it in a just two step. It is important to note that when heat is absorbed by the system at constant pressure, we actually measuring change in the enthalpy. So that was the definition of enthalpy. What is the enthalpy? Heat absorbed by the system at constant pressure. Okay. So delta H is equal to QP and QV is equal to delta U. Okay. Delta H is negative for exothermic reaction which involves heat during the reaction, and delta H is positive for endothermic reaction who absorbs the heat. So, okay, if we talk about exothermic reaction, okay, what is the exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction, that means heat is released. If heat is released, QP will be negative, and if QP is negative, delta H will be negative because heat is released. And for endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. We know that in endothermic reaction heat is absorbed. That's why QP will be positive. And if QP is positive, QP is equal to delta H. That's why delta H will be also positive. Sign convention is the most important thing for us, guys. Okay. So, at a constant volume, delta U is equal to QV. Therefore, delta H, delta U is equal to QV. Now, that was all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are again going to derive another formula, that is delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N RT. Okay, but that is for the next lecture. Okay, thank you so much.